is Kevin Giesland. I'd love to talk to you about investment properties because I talk about it all the time anyway. So, today we're looking at leverage. People have asked me in the past, I have a certain sum of money. Should it make more sense to buy one home cash, or should I break it up and buy several different homes and have a loan against each home? So I want to kind of dive into that, take a quick peek. This is the first time I really got into the numbers since rates have hiked, so it's actually kind of neat for me just to kind of see where we're at. In scenario one, $200,000, you buy a house for $200,000. Let's say you get rent for $2,000 a month. That's wonderful. The first misconception I hear all the time is folks always say, once the house is paid off, great, I'm getting $2,000 a month. That's not correct. You still have property taxes and home insurance. In this scenario, I've got $504 a month set aside for that. Your total cash flow, $1,496 a month before repairs. So $200,000 is getting tied up in a home. I'm getting $1,496 a month before repairs. Great, nothing wrong with that. However, option two, what if you bought 3 homes for $200,000, you put down 25%, and I tacked on another $10,000 for closing, maybe need a random repair or two here and there. In this scenario, you're out of pocket $180, not $200. You bought 3 homes on a 30-year note, basically meaning in 30 years the home will be paid off at a 7.75% interest rate. So in this scenario, we're going to keep the rent, the taxes, and the insurance the same because it's $200,000 home versus $200,000 home. They're not going to be exactly the same, but it should be pretty close in comparison. So you're renting out a home for $2,000. Your payment jumped up quite a bit because now there's a loan on it, so it's $1,577. So instead of cash flowing $1,496, you're only cash flowing $423. However, you've got 3 houses. So $423 times 3 houses, you're actually cash flowing $1,269 a month. That amount jumps up. That's awesome. As good as that looks, you're still about $200, give or take $30 shy of what you were cash flowing before. Something I want to bring up is what's called principal reduction. And that's basically, in this scenario, my loan is $150,000. As that loan gets paid down, your principal, which is the loan amount, is getting paid down. So the lower that goes, the higher your net worth is. If you sell that property and the loan's $100,000 versus $150,000, you're going to make more money. The way an amortization schedule works, and all an amortization schedule is, it shows every single month you're paying this amount in interest, this amount of principal, and over time, the principal ends up being higher than the interest. Having said that, just to be conservative, I went off the first month, which is $105 a month in principal. So every single month that tenant is paying you rent, your loan amount should be decreasing by roughly $105 a month. Again, we do have 3 properties. $105 times 3, that's $315 a month that your total loan is decreasing the amount, which is great. If you're looking at total net worth, your cash flow $1,269, but your total loan is getting paid down $315 a month, then your total increase is $1,584 a month. Okay, $1,584 now looks better than that $1,496. So if cash is the biggest component to what you are looking for, this still could be a route to go. If you're okay having about $230 less a month coming in, a few more repairs, and looking more for total net worth, this would be the route to go. Second thing I want to jump on here is, what does it look like in the future? Okay, so in the market that we're in, not counting the last 2 crazy COVID years, it's safe to say appreciation is about 3% a year. The price of that home should be increasing by about 3% a year. For the sake of argument, same thing, I'm going to mirror the 2 situations. Let's say rent, taxes, and insurance, none of those 3 increase on any of the properties. Not likely, but we're just kind of giving an example here. One house, your cash flow is the same. It's already paid off. There's nowhere for it to go, again, unless you raised rent or did something else, which you could do in that scenario anyway. Your worth, since it's increasing by 3% a year, wonderful, 485. Your initial investment, 200,000. You're making money each month, which is awesome. You get some tax benefit, which is great. And then at the end of the day, it's worth a ton of money. That's awesome. However, with 3 houses, the cash flow, right now your cash flow is super low because you've got 3 loans. In 30 years, when those 3 loans are paid off, this cash flow jumps up a significant amount. So you're going from $1,496 a month to almost $4,500 a month in 30 years. Even cooler that, in my perspective, your net worth, which is $485,000 if you own the 1 house. If all 3 houses appreciate 3%, your net worth will be about $1.45 million. So over time, this would definitely be the route to go. And in different random situations, I could still see someone doing this. That's my biggest thing when people always ask me for advice and opinions. It depends on what the goal is. What's the situation? What are you going for? 5, 6, 7 years ago, I was going for as many houses paid off in 15 years as I could. And now I don't care about that. I don't care if I have a loan on my property forever. All I care about is cash flow. So the more money I can make each month, the happier I am.